Update. My girlfriend 27 is pregnant and I 25 don't want kids. Original post. Just to clear up some things. 1. We were using protection on both of our ends. Well, at least I know I was. Now I'm not sure if she was really on the pill. 2. If I could have gotten a vasectomy earlier, trust me I would. I was getting refused for years. 3. I didn't try pressuring her into getting an abortion. I asked because I wrongfully assumed she would want to get one. When she said no, I didn't press it further. I wouldn't do that. She's really trying to make me stay and it seems like I don't have much of a choice in the matter. She told her family and they are very interesting people. Her mom and dad have been calling me to berate me. Her brother is threatening me and has a history of violence. They all showed up to our place to come yell at me. I'm diagnosed with GAD and also get panic attacks, which kind of plays into why I don't want kids. This situation was already making me anxious and now with her family at my throat it's not helping. I don't know if she purposefully did this knowing it would cause me extreme anxiety. I know that they won't leave me alone no matter what or where I go they will harass me. I honestly thought signing away my rights if possible would be the best for all of us. Kid included. I truly do not think that I will be a good father. My dad was in my life but he wasn't a good one. He was very abusive to me and my mother. He broke my arm on purpose out of anger when I was 14. I would have rather him not be in my life at all. Maybe I'm projecting. Either way it doesn't matter because it doesn't seem like I'm leaving and my girlfriend seems to be very happy with that. She's already talking about a nursery and stuff. I know I come off as a shitty person. It's not just me trying to be a deadbeat and not take responsibility. We discussed not wanting kids our whole relationship so it felt like I was being blindsided. What if I pass my anxiety down to this kid? I feel like that's unfair to them. It's not easy to deal with. What if I'm alone with it and have a panic attack? I just hope I don't fuck this kid up. This is why I didn't want this. I'm not made for fatherhood. My girlfriend knew this, we discussed this constantly. I guess she changed her mind a long time ago and didn't tell me or she was lying so I didn't leave. I'm not sure but she was the one that brought it up so it must have been true at first.
Like a lot of people say here. 1. Give her a clear indication that you do not intend to stay with her and she will become a single mother. 2. Pay her child support only once it is established the child is actually yours and you have a court decision regarding the amount of child support. 3. Don't jump into the conclusion that removing your rights changes anything regarding child support. She will have to agree to you signing away your rights and it is more than likely to mean only as much as the fact that you won't be involved in any decisions regarding kids' life, not child support. You can have no parental rights and still be obligated to pay child support. This tends to disappear only if both parents give the child to adoption. 4. If need be, deal with her family by any legal means available to you, restraining orders or the like if when justified. She can't really force you. If you want to sign over your rights and dump her then don't do it. Yes, you'll still have to pay her child support, but you paying her and having no involvement is better than you half-arsing a relationship with this child that you don't want. If her family continues to threaten you then you need to go to authorities. Not entirely the same situation because when I found out I was pregnant both my ex-husband and I decided together to keep our daughter. He ended up being a terrible father. He never sticks to his scheduled visits, and gets mad at her. Our daughter hates going over to see him. I would be over the moon, and I think she would be if he signed over his rights.
You shouldn't feel forced to be in a child's life that you knew you didn't want. Also, because you both agreed that you didn't want children, that's another reason you shouldn't feel obligated to be in that child's life. She lied about her true desires and dishonored you in the process. I believe that you should give up parental rights. I'm sorry this happened to you. It seems like a very stressful situation. I'm wishing you the best.
Restraining orders are a thing. Don't let them think they can strong-arm you into staying in a relationship. You should see about getting a lawyer so you know what your options are. And request a paternity test.
Both of you decided not to have children. Now she has changed her mind. Okay, that is her prerogative. Greater than she's really trying to make me stay and it seems like I don't have much of a choice in the matter. And #X200B. Greater than either way it doesn't matter because it doesn't seem like I'm leaving and my girlfriend seems to be very happy with that. Her and her family can't force you to stay. I don't understand why you are letting them push you around. You don't need their permission to leave. Do you really want to live together with a woman who clearly doesn't care about your feelings? You will end up resenting her and the child. Time to stand up for yourself.
Having her change her mind without discussing anything with you is extremely shitty. I can't say for sure if she stopped taking the pill or sabotaged your condoms, but if you truly don't want to be in the kid's life, then get out now while you still can. I don't think you're being a shitty person, it's just a shitty situation. You're being coerced into staying with her, by both her and her family. Honestly, I think you should leave because you're just going to end up resenting her and the kid, and that's not healthy for anyone involved. Have a paternity test done once the kid is born, and if it's yours then do the right thing and pay the court-mandated child support. Don't be a deadbeat, because it does take two to make a baby.
You don't have to stay and you can't sign your rights away. Do not fall into pressure of being a parent because of her parents. That will just lead in a miserable years-long relationship that finally ends in an inevitable breakup. Tell her she'll be raising the kid herself and you will pay only when a paternity test is done and when child support is court-mandated. She has a choice to keep the fetus. You have a choice to do just what's bare minimum legally required of you.
Please don't stay. I know this is a complicated situation, but I'm angry for you that you've been bullied into staying with her. So let me get this straight. Your girlfriend straight up lies to you, literally gets her family to emotionally abuse you and threaten to physically abuse you knowing you have a condition and get panic attacks, expecting you to change everything about you to take care of this kid, etc. And you still feel the need to convince her and us that you don't want kids or that you will be a bad father? At this point, that isn't even the main thing anymore. Your piece of shit girlfriend literally lied to you and is using her family to threaten you and abuse you. You can't stay with this person. She is manipulative and abusive. I would recommend getting professional help with dealing with terminating your rights as a parent to the child and getting out of child support, if possible. Make sure you do everything that can ensure a clean break before you break up with her. How anyone can think you're a shitty person is beyond me when your girlfriend is literally the personification of a demon. So your girlfriend lies to you, gets her family to emotionally abuse you and threaten to hurt you knowing you have a condition and you feel the need to defend why you don't want to be a father still? You need to plan an exit strategy to escape these psychopaths. Get a paternity test, get professional help to terminate your rights as a father and try your best to get out of child support because these lying abusers don't deserve one penny from you. And it shocks me to see you in the comments still talking about having to support the kid. Like the mother of the child is literally a lying abuser who got her family to trap him and you think she deserves help? She is not the person you thought she was and you need to run. First, get paternity test. Second, do not stay. Pay child support like you are supposed to, but do not stay in that relationship. Nothing good will come out of it. And no one knows for sure can they handle the baby. If you feel like you want to try, great, but you can do that on your own. Also for not being wanting kids but not going through abortion. Abortion is not that you take a pill and embryo poofs. You go do doc, get meds and go home, wait for cramps and blood and need to squeeze the embryo in toilet or something and then flush it. Also the hormones are there. Simply not all can do it. I know I could not even. I don't want kids. It's attachment that men will never experienced or understand. You take risk of pregnancy every time you have sex, even with precautions. It's the way it is. Edit. Remember when you finally get that vasectomy, it is not 100%. And believe me, plenty of those 0.01% babies there.
I also have anxiety disorder and it plays a huge role into my not wanting kids. My father walked out on us, so I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would not advise you to continue this relationship if you don't want children. I know firsthand how it feels to be around a parent who genuinely doesn't want you around. I'm still dealing with the emotional trauma from that. Not to mention that what everyone is doing to you to force you into this is emotionally abusive. What your girlfriend did is honestly shitty. I understand her changing her mind, but you didn't change yours and took measures to make sure something like this wouldn't happen. This might be an extremely unpopular opinion, but I'm only speaking from experience. No father at all is better than a father who doesn't love you. Contact an attorney before signing anything. Also get a paternity test if you want. Make sure this kid is yours. Do what's best for you.
Dude, you need to leave. They are treating you like shit and like you said, You will resent this kid and it will pick up on that, even if you aren't abusive. Move out, pay the child support and don't have a relationship with girlfriend or child if you don't want it. You also need to inform the police of her family threatening you. Hello, I don't think this is really good advice, but I found a Quora by a man asking a similar question and he got a response from a man who went through a similar thing. I don't know if you have read that, but maybe it would help or give you some ideas. I'm really sorry. I wish I had better advice. That must be very hard.
Make it clear that you don't want to be a father, and that if she wants to have the kid then that's absolutely her right and you won't dissuade her from that, but you will sign away your rights and step away permanently. It's not against her, but it's the most significant commitment in your life, and it will change every aspect of your life, and you aren't willing to accept that. From the sounds of things, you're not willing or ready. You are probably right that it might be the best choice for all involved. See what she says, but be firm in your life choices, and reassure her that it's not because you don't love her but because given everything it will be the best for all involved. Best of luck, mate. I'm really sorry this happened.
I would suggest taking a paternity test. You said you were wearing condoms at the time and she was supposedly on the pill. And proceed from there. This woman could very well be manipulative and trying to baby trap you or whatever it's called.
You can get pregnant while on the pill. I have 3 siblings because of that. The more you feel caged and helpless, the more you'll start lashing out. For the sake of both your girlfriend and the future kid, just leave. Don't tell anyone besides an attorney. Move and go NC.
I just want to tell you that first and foremost, you are not a shitty person and I am significant other. Sorry someone is doing this to you. If you were clear about not wanting children, then your girlfriend entered a relationship with you knowing that the two of you will not have kids together. You were both using protection too, which again enforces how you don't want kids. You are very honest and upfront about not wanting kids.
Lying about taking the pill to get pregnant is just as bad as lying about using a condom to get a woman pregnant.
This is why I support the concept of legal abortions. Basically, the father can completely absolve himself of the child. You didn't want the child, you did everything reasonably expected to prevent the child, and asked her to get rid of it. It's her body and her choice, but you should get to, up to the same point she could, not have to deal with the child up to a certain point. My sil trapped my brother like this. Said she was on the pill, and stopped taking it without telling him. My mom knew but didn't tell my brother because she wanted grandkids. He should have been able to just walk off and pretend it never happened.
You used protection and shit happened. If you discussed not wanting kids all throughout your relationship, it's not fair to you to have to raise a child you both know you don't want. It will only breed resentment. The child would be better off not having you around than to have a father that doesn't want it. I don't mean that in a rude way. My dad wasn't around growing up and it was for the best. I don't want kids either, and if I was in your situation, I'd 100% do the same thing. Maybe consider getting some therapy though, because with the anxiety might come some guilt.
Usually I would have been against just leaving when their girlfriend got pregnant. But honestly, your case isn't the usual case. You made it very clear that you didn't want a kid from the beginning. And honestly, if the family keeps harassing you and threatening you, you should really report it.
This doesn't make you a shitty person. If you're not ready, she should also take that into consideration. This is coming from a woman, with a 2-year-old. If she makes that decision, without acknowledging your feelings, then that would be solely on her. She has to ask herself if she's ready to be a single mother. I'm one and done. So I feel you on this.
You said you wore condoms. Did you wear one every time? Did one ever break? I'm honestly questioning if you're actually the father. I seems unlikely.
Sign away your rights. Get a DNA test so you can make sure that this is your kid. After all, you used protection. Get a restraining order against her family. Document their assaults for that. If the kid is yours, you can be sure that your girlfriend was not on the pill but trapped you. Lawyer up, gather evidence, record everything. Try to get out of CS. I totally empathize, man. I got my girlfriend pregnant on accident, now wife, and I didn't want kids at all. Not sure what happened, but it happened. When you get over the anxiety of having a kid, you'll end up loving the little thing like no other. I didn't understand that sentiment before my kid was born, but I get it now. To be clear though, I don't want any more though. Tears of joy.
Damn bro, just up and leave. Pack your shit, move 2 states away, change your number, delete all socials. You're not being shitty. Whether or not your partner has the child is up to her, but raising the child is another matter and she can't make that decision for you. You said multiple times you didn't want to be a father, that you didn't think you would be a good father. This is the point where you should exit the picture.
This is a shitty situation for guys. It requires total trust on our part that your partner is on birth control when deciding not to use condoms in a long-term relationship. It won't help you, but in one of the Nordic countries, a father can surrender their rights to the child during the abortion stages of pregnancy, thereby signaling to the mother that they'll be raising the child alone with no financial support. Seems fairer to me. Baby trapping men is just horrible.
It seems like I don't have much of a choice in the matter, you do. Don't stay in an abusive relationship. Head over to our abusive relationships and check out Ebby45's profile. She has amazing resources to help victims of abuse get out.
I really think this sucks for Op. But I'm also amazed that no one is thinking about what's best for the child. The kid didn't ask for any of this, and if it's his kid, Op has a responsibility here. Whether he likes it or not. He doesn't have to suddenly become a present father and take care of everything, but if the kid is his, he will become a dad. He can choose to be the vanishing dick, or take some responsibility. His girlfriend is wrong, obviously, and this shouldn't have happened. But it did. And this kid is going to at least want to know who her father is, and be able to contact him and talk to him. I personally think this is all terrible and terribly unfair, but the person that deserves what's best is the kid, who can't help being born.
A child is a child. You didn't ask for it, but the baby didn't ask to be put into this world. Seems to me like you're looking for a free pass to abandon your child, and I'm appalled by how many people are actually giving you that. You're scared of passing down your anxiety. Then don't fucking leave your child. Because that sure will cause her to have trust issues and anxiety. You don't have to stay with the mother, but you will always be a dad. Just face it. You're not a teenager, you're a grown man and you can take responsibility. Especially if she is as manipulative as you paint her out to be, you shouldn't leave a child with her. Her family sounds even worse. You could be the only stable person in her life. Sorry for not chiming in and feeling sorry for you. When you get older and become a dad, hopefully you will understand why I'm saying this.
How confident are you that it is in fact your child? If you're sure you've been using protection properly and you haven't seen an accident occur, she should not have gotten pregnant. Just consider it a possibility. If she's gonna lie about one thing, she can lie about more.
Unpopular opinion bet. Using protection reduces the risk of pregnancy, it doesn't eliminate it. There are actions in life which have consequences and you are responsible for such consequences, whether or not you planned differently. If there is a child in the world resulting from your decision to have sex, that's your child and your responsibility. The child has zero responsibility here, but you do not. You are that child's father. That has responsibilities over and above mere financial. You didn't want this, you didn't plan this, but it's happened, and it's on your plate. Be a man and be this child's father.
Don't let them strong-arm you into anything, call the cops on them for harassment. Also, you don't have to excuse yourself, it's your choice just as much as hers, and if you don't want part in raising him, you're in your right. Stand your ground and don't give in. It doesn't matter what she wants or what her family wants. The courts will make you pay support, but beyond that, you don't have to be involved. If you have the means, move beyond their physical reach and have an attorney handle the logistics of proving paternity and setting up support.
Greater than both of us were using protection. Sorry bud, but you might wanna get a DNA test when the little fella is born.
Signing away your rights is probably the best way to go. I was in a situation similar to this years ago. My ex-girlfriend was poking holes in my condoms to get pregnant without my knowledge. She tried to baby trap me. I had all the paperwork drafted to sign away my rights, but then my ex miscarried. I got lucky and dodged a huge bullet.
Not surprisingly, no one here seems to care about the growing baby, which is a possible result of two adults who decides to have sex. Shit happens, but it's not the baby's fault, so please take responsibility and do the right thing. Lots of guys don't think they'll do as a father, but it's something you grew into. And big part of it is taking responsibility. You can do it.
Buddy, just calm down. When that child comes into this world you will feel nothing but love and won't be able to imagine life without it. I don't think that you don't want children per se, you just don't want the responsibility. It's scary, yes, but you have to give yourself and that child a fair chance. Good luck.
I can see your predicament. However, you made the choice to engage in intercourse. That has consequences, however unlikely you may think. Now is the time to deal with them. Hindsight is always 20/20, so don't dwell on what could have been. Look at the law, and at what's most important to you, and act.
It's too late to not want kids. I would maybe see a therapist about this and your past issues. You do not have to be in a relationship with the mother, but I would not abandon the child. That will leave you with serious regrets as you grow older, but that's just my opinion. Take responsibility for your actions. Having kids is part of the risk of having sex. End of discussion. This is an opposing view. But there are so many signs in your post that lead me to believe that you don't necessarily not want kids, but you're terrified of failing at having them. With your abusive father and GAD and panicked attacks, who wouldn't be full of doubt? Please listen to my advice. My boyfriend also suffers from GAD and panic attacks. He has a 12-year-old already and we now have a 3-month-old. When he found out I was pregnant he had a month freak out because he was scared. He's an amazing dad regardless of his anxiety and we work through it. Before writing off this little human that you made, give it a chance. Make it clear to your girlfriend that you aren't sure you're in it for the long run. You don't want to live a life full of regret not knowing if you love your kid.
The relationship is over regardless. She broke your trust. This is not repairable. Eventually you'll break up. Might be in 20 years once the kid leaves home. Probably sooner. Better to break up now so the kid can grow up in a happy home, not a miserable one where the parents hate each other.
Lol, I had girlfriends who would say things like, just don't use a condom, it's hard to get pregnant, because they didn't like the feeling of condoms. Trust me, get rid of these women. They want to get pregnant and could care less if you're around to help raise it because many times their father was absent. They just want to feel special by being pregnant, even though baby stage is only a small part of human development and this kid is going to have serious problems growing up in poverty. My guess is that she lied being on the pill and hoped you would change your mind later on. Thanks a lot, practically enslaving you with a child you have to care for your whole life with current laws on the books.
Protection on both ends makes pregnancy virtually impossible. Please, do a paternity test and GTFO ASAP. My heart breaks for men put into situations like these. Regardless of whether you didn't want to be a father or those that truly did and their partner chose to abort. I am pro-choice, but I can't imagine how hard it is for the guy who is on the other side of things. Can you relocate so that you don't have to worry about her family? Are police a choice to get involved? I wish you luck. You matter and you need to take care of you. No one else will.